Hi, I'm Heidi Sawyer. I'm with jobsandme.com, and I am here at the 19th Annual Maine HR Convention at the beautiful Samoset Resort in Rockport, Maine. And I'm joined by Dana Connors, the president of the Maine State Chamber of Commerce. Welcome, Dana. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine, thanks. And you're absolutely correct. This is the most beautiful place in the universe. Almost.
Quintessential Maine,
it is,
right?
Huh? It is. It's got it all.
So tell me a little bit about the Maine State Chamber of Commerce. What do you guys do?
Well, we are an organization. It's a membership organization, much like your local or regional chamber. We depend on people to join us, and we essentially do a lot of advocacy. Our brand, if you will, is the voice of Maine business. So we have about 5,000 businesses that we represent, and we are their voice in the legislature. I have 4 people who spend their time when the legislature's in session on behalf of those businesses, lobbying on a side of a bill or not that which helps business. We're for. If it stands in the way of growing the economy, obviously we have concerns with that. At the same time, we have another part of our organization that has to do with membership and marketing, and perhaps more aptly described, it would be the service that would hold a conference, which we do a number of during the year, workshops to inform our members. We differ from local chambers in that some local chambers may get into the advocacy world, but most of them do not. Most of them work with us because there's approximately 60 chambers throughout the state. And when you take 60 chambers with ourselves, and we have a system, a grassroots system, where we can reach out to all 60 of them to encourage them to get involved, have their members get involved. Our voice becomes stronger. Our impact is better by including them. But they, by themselves, tend to deal with regional issues, tend to focus on their city, their community, their region. We're statewide. Ours is primary advocacy. Theirs is more about the needs of their membership. You often will hear programs like Eggs and Issues, familiar?
Yes,
I mean, that's an informational type thing. Business after hours or strictly socials, where they get the chance to network and learn more about other businesses. It's more community. We don't have that community because we're statewide, but each region, each chamber has that sense of community, which is important to them.
So you find yourself as a little bit of a separate entity, but it's a whole.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, we're separate and there's nothing in law, nothing required of us to work together. But that's silly, because why wouldn't you work together? Because we're all better when we do. Your voice is stronger, your impact is better. It's just, it's the way it should be, to overstate it or understate it, however, is that the more we can do things together, essentially the better the services, the better the results are, and that can be said for a whole host of things.
Right.
Trying to move an issue or help is the more hands that we have working together, the better the expected
So what are
results.
some of the major issues, or 1 or 2 of the issues that you think businesses need to be paying attention to right now?
There's a lot of issues. I mean, one of the most primary issues that the state faces as a state is the problem we have with our workforce. I mean, there's 2 or 3 different aspects to that. Number 1 is that we have an aging workforce. Our population is flat. We have a large number that has reached retirement age, and since 1980 to 2010, our population increased each decade. Maybe a little less than the previous decade, but it grew by 40% in that 30-year period. Since 2010, it's dipped the other way, and when you add in the factor that the baby boomers are now reaching retirement age, we could lose 20,000 of our workers by 2020. That's not a growing economy, that's a challenged economy. So number 1 is, how do we grow our workforce? Another issue is, we know that there are tremendous job opportunities, but our economy is changing, and skills required for the jobs today aren't necessarily the skills that were needed yesterday. So how do we make that work for us? Because at the end of the day, jobs in the economy is everyone's priority.
Yes.
And so when you think of there's a lot of issues, but when you think of the challenges of our workforce, both in terms of the quantity of our workforce, in terms of the supply, but also the quality of our workforce in terms of the skill. I put those two up there as one of the same, but clearly two of our top priorities.
And the truth is, Maine is known for a workforce with an incredible work ethic.
That is one of our strongest suits.
But there's still that skills gap. So
Yeah.
we can really rely on the state chamber and even the local chambers
Yes.
to really help advocate for coming up with training programs or
And we did
grants
that. I
or-
mean, just recently, we've had a wonderful relationship with the Maine Development Foundation. We partnered with them and some others, and we focused on the workforce. We come out the report this past year that dealt with the actual supply side. And we are finishing up a report that takes a look at a number of the things being undertaken today in terms of meeting the skills gap. And so we're hoping to finish that report, but essentially to answer the question that's posed by that challenge won't be just about the chamber. It'll be about all of us kind of working together, trying to move this issue forward.
So if we all come together and we join the Maine State
There you
Chamber, we're one solid voice for
You got it.
the state.
You're
So,
good.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for talking with us today,
My
Dana.
pleasure.
Nice to meet you.
Same here.
Thank you.